got to get some hinges. I don't like the way the door hinges turned out, so I'm gonna go shopping for some hinges and see what we come up with. And yes, I even have a charge controller in the Dodge with a solar panel in the back. Alright, so I got some hinges. I got a couple of different varieties there, and I got some stuff to replenish my stock, because I like to keep some stuff in reserve. At the hardware store, these things were like, I don't know, close to $10 each. And here at Walmart, they're $2.84. And I know they come from the same factory. They're all made in China. Alright, so today is the day we're going to fix the solar panel. We're going to do a better hinging system and maybe hook up everything as far as solar is concerned. Watch the train speed up now that the battery voltage goes up. So the battery voltage, I just took the charger off in there, was at 12.7 for a second. Now it's up to 13.9. Everything's speeding up. So I red tagged this, and this is why. So when I got in the garage and where it was flat, my head was hitting on the bottom of this. But right here you can see the concrete has a dip. So it was not giving me the accurate reading on what it should be as far as the head clearance. So what I'm going to do, I got some hinges at the hardware store. I'm probably going to end up putting some wood that's up higher on this piece and mount the solar panels even with the other ones. Maybe slightly above. No, probably even. Yeah. That way I'm not hitting my head on this. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And then I got to do the other side once I get this side perfected, because this is perfection. This is one last look at the old hinge setup. These are door hinges, and I have it spaced with some nuts there. And I got some smaller hinges to see if I can get the panels up higher and something that's not so obnoxious looking. So let's see if we can get these to work. So that's one last look right there with that setup. My goal is to have the side panels the same height as the ones on top. So I want these up here so there's not a shading issue. That's what I ended up using, is a cabinet hinge. Quantity 2. So for less than $3, around $3, that just had to take a trip to the hardware store. Actually got that at Walmart. I don't think the hardware store had that. So yeah, much better. They're even Steven now, and won't be any shadowing issues. And if I want to, I can even come up at to grab the sun at even more of an angle like that. See, I can come up all the way like that if I want to. And then when I come back down with it, I got to make my locking mechanism. But then it looks like that. So you really can't see the hinges like before. Remember how those door hinges were sticking out like a sore thumb? Now they're not. So I'm going to do the other side now. And then after that, I'm going to come across the bottom with the piece of wood that this is going to be bolted to. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. It's going to take a while because I got to harvest a panel off of something else that's not being used. We're going to take a panel off of this cart. They're the same. This is what they look like clean. Well, you know what they look like, but yeah. I'm going to take it off of this one because this one is not operational right now. That's going to be another project. It used to run, but I've been taking parts off of it too much. And we're going to get it on the truck. I think we'll take the back one off because this one keeps this stuff from going bad. I need to take this off there before it gets too rusty. So this is before a wash. I need to take all this stuff off. But yeah, it's pretty rough looking. Let's see if we can bring her back to life. You know, I was thinking too, there was another panel on that cart that's going to be a mix match now for any set. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Back here? That will help it box it in and then I can have it straight out most of the time and close it down when I park. So we're probably going to have 900 watts eventually on this thing. I'll never make it to the car show on time if I keep doing this. I would say that's an upgrade. So now I just need to mount it. Let's get to this. This is how I set up so the panels would be perfectly flush with the ones up top. So I got water jug there on these pieces of wood, and then I put the panel up there. I first marked my left and rights right there so it would be centered where it needs to be so it could shut here, and then I opened the panel up, and then I marked the up and down, and then I did my little pinpoints right there in the middle perfectly with one of the screws and drilled it, and it should be right on the money. So this thing's going up there in about 10 seconds. All right, let's check and see what we got now. It should be right underneath these boards when I pull this out. Look at that. That is right on the money. So yeah, 2-gallon jugs and these flat boards is how I did that. And like I said at first, I put some blocks of wood under here. I had these blocks blocking this up so I could get it up there general area, and then I made sure we were inside the tolerance here, and then I marked my up and downs, and then I went straight up with it and then topped out on these boards and then marked my actual holes. And that's how I got it like that. So this time of the day, this panel would be the most efficient right now at that angle for the most part. Again, there's going to be a board. I'll show you here in a second. I'll show you exactly what it's going to look like. There's going to be a board just like this. And then I'll have a locking mechanism. I'll probably just have bolts coming out of here or something at first. But that's how it's going to look whenever you're cruising down the road. That's cruising look right there. And then when it's up, you know what it looks like already. It looks like this side over here. And I still need to figure out how I'm going to keep them braced up so I'm not hitting my head on stuff. So I'll probably go from here to here on both sides. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't really care for this right here, so I'm going to do something on each side. And the reason why, another reason why I want to do something on each side, if I want to cruise down the road with it out, I can. If I'm out in the country somewhere or something. But I'm still debating whether I want to put one back here or not. If I do, I'm going to have to do some strategery to where it's not blocking my view. But I want to trap this thing in, and I know that sounds counterproductive, but I want people to not be walking by on this side thinking this is the place to hang out, because I want to be able to talk to people and explain what's going on instead of them just assuming. So I kind of want this to be the only viewing area, and that way it's you know, people aren't going to be snatching stuff out of there. So at a car show, I might keep that panel down for security, and there's going to be some type of chicken wire stuff here on each side so people can't reach in here. So the only place that you're going to have access is this spot right here to the whole layout. You'll be able to see it from here and here and from here, and maybe not here. I might keep this one down. And like right now, if we're still at the car show, this one's getting a lot of power. This one's getting optimum power right there at that angle. See where the sun is? So yeah, that one's getting about 5 or 6 amps right now. It's a 100-watt panel. It's probably getting about 5 amps, 4.5, something like that. So yeah, that's what it looks like when it's up. See that? Let me give you a better view. Hold on. There's a better view. So we got 2, 4, 6. And this is why 8. I wanted them moved up from the way I had it last night. As you can see, no shading at all. let's go check the front side. I can't tell, but I don't see any shading there at this time of day. So that's what I'm talking about. And obviously there's not going to be any shading on this side either. So it's measured. This is 19 5/8 from here to there. And it's perfectly lined up with this right here. So if I come up here with another piece and come across here and build a structure, I can put that last panel. I won't be able to pivot the panel, which is fine. It'll be in line with these other ones. It's just not going to be sticking out as wide. So I'll have to put a structure down here on the bottom side. So I'll have to move this, which this is just kind of there, not for anything else, but just kind of hold the panels from going forward to backwards. So yeah, I can redesign this real easy. And we might have 900 watts on this thing pretty soon. Maybe tomorrow. At this rate, I'll never make the car show. But I promise, after this panel, I'll be done. So that will be 900. 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9. So we're getting close to $1,000. We could always put one on top of the cab. I'm just joking. Not put one on top of the cab. This is what it looks like from the front with the wings deployed. So you still can't tell anything's back there unless you deploy the wings now. But now you can definitely see that there's something going on when the solar panels are sticking out. And I also have an idea that I'm going to do. Instead of putting wood in here, check this out. So back here I have all this bamboo that froze from the Snowmageddon. And there's some big stuff back here, strong. So I'm going to cut this stuff out of there, the bigger stuff and the smaller stuff. And I'm going to use the big stuff. I'm going to experiment with it to see how it works. But I got a bunch of material to work with. I need to thin this out anyway so the new stuff can take hold better. But yeah, I'm going to put that bamboo. I'll show you where I'm going to put it. Thinking about putting it in here instead of the wood. See how it looks, but you know, it's just not a fashion contest anyway. I'll put it in here to hide the PVC. And I'm thinking about making it part of the back solar panel. I'll just have to see if it matches the other wood. And I still have to take some grease and dirt and make this look old. That won't take long at all. So it matches the other stuff so it doesn't look like it just happened. I'll do the same thing on this side, and I'll take this tape off. I need to put some wood glue on that piece that's trying to rip up there. Alright, I just wanted to show you. So I took and hooked this panel up real quick just to see what kind of work it would do. And this is a blower motor from a John Deere 4640. Came out of the tractor when they were working on it. And I use it for load testing and that kind of stuff. But that's how much work this thing will do this time of day with that solar panel like that. So now let's pitch the panel up. We're going to move the panel up. And we should hear it change frequency. See, I'm blocking the panel, so hold on. Now we're going to slowly move it up. And we'll hear the motor slow down. Slow down. And now that's perfectly straight up flat, like the other panels. And see how the thing doesn't do any work anymore. So the panels are straight up like this. This is the way I have the panels now. So I'm going to lower it again, and it'll start doing work again. So watch this. And it slowly starts spinning up. There we go. So that's the difference in having the angles on your panels make. Angles are very important. The way it's facing the sun, the sun's a localized event, so you got to really kind of be fine-tuned on it. You got to dial in on it. So that's how that works. I was curious to see what a 200 watt panel would do when we had it straight like this. So remember, the 100 watt wouldn't start the motor. Now we got the 200 watt hooked up, and it's doing, see how I'm saying these panels are really efficient? So this thing's going about the same speed and started up just as fast. is the 100 watt, and it's not facing the sun. You see what I'm saying? That's why I love these 200 watt panels. They're really efficient. So yeah, they're still doing work right now, even at that angle. That's the cool part. And if I wanted to put this panel to work, I could just pitch it up towards the sun. Isn't that cool? So yeah, this panel right here that's not hooked up yet is running this motor that fast, with the sun getting close to going right over those trees right there. 200 watt new power. New power. Don't know if you can see that. There you go. Alright, rip and read time. Jared Allen was the latest comment. Side panels look great, sir. An idea for you, maybe put the hinges on the inside instead of the yeah, I got different hinges. I went to as you can see, I went to the hardware store. Actually, the ones I used were from Walmart, and I'm taking the hinges I got from the hardware store back because they were very overpriced. 6 little hinges were 53 bucks. I knew I was going to take all of them back except one set. So anyway, I'm taking them all back to the hardware store. So yeah, you cannot see the hinges anymore, as you can see in the video. All right, MM says electro fried 65 coming along great. Might also want to add a fire extinguisher. Would look cool, and you never know if you need it. Yeah, are you trying to say something about my wiring? I do need to add more fuses to some stuff, but yeah, I got fuses on my stuff, so everything should be fine, but you never know. And yeah, I had planned on putting 2 fire extinguishers back there on the inside, not on the outside, but you never know. But yeah, the red would look cool. Alright, so A-Boss says, what type of charge controllers are you using? I want to frame in an electric bike trailer with about twice that of my 40 amp Renogy. Alright, so we were communicating back and forth. I'm using a combination of all kinds of stuff. I'm using 30 amp charge controllers and 15 amp, and they're pulse width modulation. I'm not using MPPT on the truck, and there's reasons why. I'll get into that in a later video, but it's for shading reasons, because you can't have your panels hooked in series all together with a high voltage, because it kills the whole string if you series them. So I'm using pulse width modulation because of that, because all my panels are going to be hooked parallel at this point. So I can get into the details and explain that later in other videos when I have the components in front of me. Alright, so those solar panels, let's see, those solar panel wings are our concept is something that Cybertruck is thinking about doing. Yeah, they were trying to figure out, they were going to put solar on the bed the last time I looked into it. You know, the bed cover thing was going to be like solar panels or something. But yeah, they were also talking about some kind of wings that would fold out. Alright, so that's it. I did some replies on the videos. Y'all can check that out. Short comments. Good deal. Tomorrow, my plan is to, I might put another 100 watt panel on the back that helps me add security. The reason why I'm putting these panels on the side, there's like three main reasons. Number one, if I want to go to the store in the truck, the solar panels will be secured on the side and people won't be able to see what's going on in there or reach in there and grab the track. I'm not keeping the train and all that stuff on the track if I'm at the store. But my point being is I don't want people in there grabbing stuff. And I'm not keeping my laptop. But it will block the ability for people to grab things. It will give me power. If my truck's facing the west and it's in the evening, I'll have power. I've disconnected my alternator on the truck because I don't need it anymore. So I'll put a switch in there so I can turn it on and off from the cab. But yeah, it's really cool that I don't have to have an alternator on that truck anymore during the day. At nighttime, of course, I would. And another reason why is I wanted shade for myself if I was working on the side. You know, if I'm sitting there, I don't want the sun just beating on my head. And so I gain extra power, security, be able to lock it down, and it shades me from the sun when I want it to. So it serves three main purposes, having those side panels. And I'm thinking about adding one to the back as well, where the spider is, that goes just straight, not at an angle, and that will give me more back plane on the whole thing to where I can easily box it in for security reasons. So yeah, I'm gonna probably add that panel tomorrow, and I need to do some wiring, a lot of wiring. So I'm kind of running out of time. I'm gonna have to stop it at a certain point and call it good. There'll always be more that I can do for the car show next year, but I'm really not concerned about the car show that much because people can see it on YouTube if they want. So yeah, if I don't have, I'm not gonna have everything finished by the car show. I'm already seeing that now, but that's all right. So we'll do this again tomorrow. Please hit that like button. YouTube seems to like that when you hit the thumbs up. It's free. Like, share, subscribe. Love y'all. We'll do it again tomorrow.